Today's edition, it is the 24th of October 2022, going to the winter months in the UK. So, where the bears fight the bulls. Okay, so if you followed my last video, or you saw my last video to do with natural gas, I did a contract rollover trade on Friday. Now, I explained in the video before, but I'll explain briefly what it is again. Contract rollover is with CFDs, contract for difference, that's a CFD. It's basically a leveraged trading account, so it's paper trading, so you're following the price of whichever instrument it is. So if it's gold, for example, it's not actually real gold you're buying, it's actually paper gold. So it's just following the price of the gold in this situation. So I took a trade on, I got a call from my broker on Friday. They mentioned that the previous month's contract was expiring at close of business on the Friday night, which was 10 o'clock UK time. And then the new contract opens up at 10 or 11 o'clock on the Sunday evening, London time. So what I did, I shorted natural gas. Now, natural gas is popped up a little bit, but in the last half an hour actually, on this particular one, on this particular broker. But it's all broker related, so each broker will have a different price pattern. You see the price here is 5.561 on the trading view. Remember, I do all my analysis on trading view just simply because there's no emotions, there's plenty of tools, and it makes sense to do it, your analysis on trading view, and then I execute my trades on my main trading account. Right, so when it comes to this contract rollover, let's just pop that on to. So this is Friday. This is a price on Friday. What I did, I shorted natural gas here because I knew when the contract closes here, the price was going to be half a dollar higher. So you see it closed on just above $5, and the price reopened on $5.50. Now, on a contract rollover, what will happen? I've done very well out of these contract rollers before. What will happen is the broker will compensate the price difference with a positive or a negative swap fee. Now, a swap is a charge that the broker will charge on your trade. So the longer you're in a trade, they might charge you $10 a day, depending on your lot size. They might charge you $20 or $100 a day, depending on how big your trade is and which way you're going. But in terms of the contract from last month to this month, the price is different. So what tends to happen with a contract rollover and the price, when there's a gap like this, the price could then potentially retract and then go back down to the price it was on the previous contract. And then it might go back up again, it might go back down again. But approximately 90% of the time, this is what happens. And I've done numerous contract rollovers on oil, on crude oil and Brent oil, and I've done very well because you would think that buying here would be a better option because the price is going to be up. But if you bought natural gas on Friday with my broker here, then the price would have risen by $0.50, so you could be massively in profit, but they would have charged you the same equivalent amount in swap. So the swap would have been a minus figure. So let's say, for example, you put on a trade and the $half equivalent was about, let's just say $1,000 of profit. The broker would have minused that trade of $1,000 in swap fees. Okay, so that's buying, which is not recommended in this particular trade. Now, what is recommended is to short with a trade like this. So this is, you can just about see here, there's a sell, there's 2 sell trades. There's actually 4 sell trades on here. So I've got a whole lot on. It's about $5,000 worth of positive swap here, and about $5,000 minus in the trade. Okay, because I knew I was going to be in a minus of $5,000 after it moved by half a dollar, or 500 cents, I guess. And my bet, or I am sort of counting on the fact that the price will then retract back to the original price down below. It's just around $5. Now, not every broker has a contract rollover in the same magnitude. Some brokers do. Some brokers have them at different times. It just depends on what broker you're with. It just happened that my broker had one on Friday with a contract rollover, and normally with a contract rollover it can be like a few cents difference between the Friday and the Sunday night or the Monday. But in this case, it was a big one, so it's $half a dollar. So, when the price, it might carry on going back up, but it's more likely that this, over the next few days, in the next week or so, this price will then retract back to the original price it was on the previous contract, which was last Friday. So if that happens, my negative trade of 5,000 will then gradually get smaller and smaller and smaller, and then when it gets to here, this line, this sell, my negative trades will be then at break even. And what is the advantage of this? Well, the advantage is I've got a positive of $5,000 in swap. You see, so the swap has been basically the broker have given me this $5,000 of swap to compensate for the minus in the figure of the trades that I put on Friday. Okay, so another thing you could do here as well, you could just short it. You know, you could short it now. It doesn't really matter either way, really, how you do that contract rollover trade. In a way, it could be better to short it now because you've got a slightly better price. But you know, it's always good to be in it because it might have actually retracted already. You see, you know, it might have actually happened. It hasn't. You know, at the moment, I'm probably a little tiny bit of a minus figure there because it started here and I shorted here. So I think, you know, I should be on for a $5,000 profit here when the price goes back to here. Now, I'm not making profit on the trade. I'm making profit on the size of the swap, the positive swap that's been given to me by the broker to compensate for the previous contract. Now, the price might, in fact, carry on going. In that case, these shorts that I'm in, well, actually I'm wearing jeans today, but these shorts that I'm in my trading account, if the price does carry on going, I could make more than $5,000. So if it does suddenly drop below this price here, then I can basically put my stop loss on, lock in my $5,000 profit, and maybe start closing them out one by one as the price goes lower. I think long term though, with natural gas, we are going to the winter months, as I mentioned earlier. So in theory, we should be on for a bullish run, and also if you're looking at the price of natural gas over the last few months. Let's just have a look at it there. So you look at the price over there, it's come down quite a lot. In fact, a hell of a lot. So if you zoom out on this and you look at the there's quite a lot of buying pressure here, you see, because we're so far down. But this might happen. You know, you look at this, what happened here, it sort of went up and then it dropped back down again. So this is what I'm counting on, for it to bounce up here and come back down to this level. Okay, it's different with my current broker. So we just have to wait and see. Now, the dollar index. We've just got the bell has just gone. So we did look at gold as well on Friday. Now we had a bit of a pump here. We did say we'd buy again if we got some nice clean cycles. However, we didn't get a clean cycle, so I will not be buying there. Okay, so I'll delete that. Okay, so in terms of gold, you know, this is a 4-hour chart. I would like to see 2 of these cycles to confirm a trend. However, gold moves in a way that is affected massively by the strength of the dollar, and then obviously silver is the same. So silver will follow gold. You can see those 2 charts there; they're very similar. Okay, so did have some other stocks to look at this week. Okay, so we've got one there. If you can guess. Apple is one. Okay, so with Apple, I mean, I bought Apple before a number of times actually. I've been in and out of Apple over the last. Okay, you've got dividends, you've got splits, show earnings. Okay. So, earnings. Okay, so I'm going to keep an eye on Apple for the moment. Also got the Dow. See, similar sort of chart, almost identical, you see. So I will be, it's quite a nice area. I mean, here would be nicer, obviously, but we're starting to get above the 50 moving average. We are above the 50 moving average on the Apple. We're above it on the Dow too. So I'm going to potentially execute a trade on both of those. Okay, so natural gas is pumping quite a bit actually. Right, okay, so we need to find Apple. Right, so FX. We need US stock. That's UK. So where's the US? CFD US shares. There we are. Right. Okay, so Apple. Just clean this chart up a bit. Unfortunately, on Web Viewer, we can only, because I'm on a Mac, I can't get MetaTrader 4 on here. So this is why I trade mainly on my main account on a Windows. Show grid, take that off. Let's do that in green and black because green's a bit nicer. Okay. So I'm going to wait a little bit on this one today because there's a bit of indecision. I'd rather buy it a bit cheaper. So in terms of the price, yeah, I'm going to wait a little bit longer for the Apple. Not going to just buy yet, but it's on my list. See these cycles here, they're not very clean at all, but you can see we're almost at these are bouncing off this. Okay, it's a 15-minute chart, so that's 200 times 15 minutes in time there. So I want to see at least a bit more of a pullback to the 50 moving average. So that's 50 times 15 on this particular chart. Now if we go on the 4-hour chart, we are now above the 50 moving average. So we're not there yet for the daily. So I want to wait for a bit more of a pullback before I go in. Okay, so let's draw a little box or something. What should we do today? Let's do some text. Buy here. Okay, so we want to be buying around. I'd like to be buying about here really at 145. Okay, so we keep an eye on this. It might just carry on going up, but who knows? It might come down, and then we look at seriously buying here. Now, same with Dow. Done exactly the same thing, you see, because they are. Now silver. Okay, we had a nice rally on Friday. So I'll be buying again around $1,900. Sorry, $19, not 1,900. So buy here. I have actually bought around there previously. So if you look on silver, so I've bought here anyway on this level. So there's a possibility that the price will stop at that level again, bounce down and then continue going up. That's where my buy was. It's in profit a little bit at the moment. It's just looking volatile. You see it's pumped back up again there. So there's probably quite a bit of buying. You know, we'll probably maybe what we see with silver, we see it quite often, is some spikes down, close, spikes down, close. This on the hourly chart, every hour. So we'll see what happens with that. Other trades that I'm in, I'm not even going to look at crypto. Now MRK, I came out of MRK, or Merck Company. I came out about here actually. And that was it. I should have bought back in, but I didn't. But that's absolutely flying. Guild. PayPal got stopped out of. Now, WTI oil. I'd like to be shorting some oil at some point because it moves very quickly down. Not at this stage though. Okay. I haven't been sharing the right screen, have I? There we are. Okay. So what I was saying here with Apple, that I want to be buying here because I want to see a bit of a pullback. Okay, and also on the Dow as well. So other trades that I'm in, we are looking at, the dollar's starting to drop a bit more, maybe, in the last 15 minutes. So that's positive for gold, that's positive for silver for me, right? So we've got a bit more of a pump on gold, you see. Silver, we just looked at this, the real silver trade, the actual one. Okay, so that's a real silver trade. Okay, so we're waiting on that one to see what happens. If we see a bit more of a low price, I'll be buying in again around about here. Okay, so that concludes today's Where the Bears Fight the Bulls. Who will win? Who knows? Our main focus this week is the contract rollover on natural gas. Just have another look at that before we log off. So dollar, so natural gas. Okay, why can't you see that? Okay. Well, anyway, natural gas is looking not ideal, considering I shorted it on Friday because of the contract rollover. But we'll just have to wait and see. It might be topping out, it might come back down. But on this particular broker, it hasn't got to come down as far. This is what's a bit confusing when it comes to some of these accounts. So, thanks for joining, and I'll be, when I place the next stock trades, I've got a few more lined up which I'm looking at as well. I'll let you know on Facebook group, on the YouTube channel, when the next time will be. And yeah, tune in and let me know what you think. Any questions? Make sure you subscribe and send me a message down below. Thank you.